Peace and love, royal family. We're gonna break down who you are real quick. You know, it's kind of funny because you ask a lot of people, who you are. You know, a lot of them they don't understand who they are. I don't even know how to even come up with an answer to that right now. What they would say, but you know the typical answers. But the point to this is that we'll start off. All right, you're not your arm and you're not your leg and you're not your chest, so you're not your body, you're not your organs, so you're not the heart or anything. That's not you. You're not your mind because it's your mind. You're not your thoughts because it's your thoughts. So who's the your? Who's you? You know, we covered just about encompass the whole physical part. So you're not the physical part. So we can't equate ourselves. Let's keep going as African, because if you say you're African, then somebody made up that African stuff, and so you're something that somebody made up. If you say you're black, it's the same thing. Somebody made up that color name or color, or defined it, and that's who you're defining yourself as. So you see, you're not none of those things so far. You know, same thing, Negro, whatever you want to call yourself, even Caucasian, European, American, African American, that don't define you. Human, that still don't define you. Who are you? So now we have to look elsewhere. It's so funny. Only place you're gonna find something about you, it seems like it's in some religious text. To be honest, that's the funny part about it. I'm laughing because that's from my own research, and that's where you found out about who you are. That's what I found out about who I am. Because now, after you find out that you're not none of these parts of the body, so who the fuck is you? Where am I? I know I'm in that shit, I dream and shit, but how the fuck I disassociate myself from my reality, and all of a sudden I'm in another world. So where am I? Am I in me? Well, then we have to look through religious texts, which started, for us in the Western world, with what we call soul and spirit. Now we're getting closer to us. You understand what I'm saying? So now when you hear about, oh, I have a soul and you have a spirit, all right, you're getting closer to who you are. It's like an invisible force, entity, pre-existing or existing inside of you. So how does all this come into, one composite being? Well, now you got to look at it like this. It's a composite. The word meaning it's a combination of the four elements: earth, air, fire, water. These four elements is not just, liquid elements or scientific elements. They're literally entities or different species of beings living in the color spectrums. These now beings is what they call salamanders, your gnomes and genomes, or whatever you want to call them. They got names. Everybody know them from fairies and all that other stuff. There's plenty of books on it. But anyway, all of those have already been here. And those is what come together to give you, your life. You understand what I'm saying? And really on the subatomic level, you're them. So it's like a small thought, and then you have a big thought. The small thought would be your subatomic, and the big thought will be the whole bunch of subatomic coming together like a big conscious cloud that looks like a bird or something, but each is little parts of clouds still. Same thing, it's like you're just a composite image of all that is outside of you, meaning the elements. You understand? Now, all that is around you is a magnetic field that encircles you, and you got a thinner one around you. Now, this magnetic field is reflective. Whatever their thoughts are, it's what bounces back onto you, and that's what you see. So now, if you get everybody's thoughts on the same page, and everybody is projecting the same beliefs, this bubble comes together, and it gets bigger, and everybody bubble comes together. You get a big conscious, big ass bubble. This big ass conscious bubble is our physical world. You understand what I'm saying? And what we believe to be physical. But it's not all the way true. It has a physical overtone to it, but is it really physical? Think about it. Do your eyes interpret physical signals or electrical signals? Do your five senses, as a matter of fact, detect vibrations or the physical structure of an object? You understand where this is going now? So what's outside of you and what's inside of you, they work opposite. They work off two totally different systems. So now this is where we find out more about yourself. Before you can find out more about yourself, you have to understand self. Let's understand now these things inside of you. Where did it come from? You know, how did you get there? And who is you? Well, to make it simple, you have three parts to you. You have a shadow that's been here the longest. Then you're gonna have an overlay of what's called demons. This is your primordial period, where it was just demons on the earth. You know, Lovecraft wrote a good book about it. Then after that, you have your alien times, where aliens came. This is when our genetics changed, and we went from Homo, whatever on the ground, erectus, to Homo sapiens. So now, anywhere, Homo sapiens to Homo erectus. You know, I'm not into studying European definitions. So to me, I'm trying to get that out of my system so I could learn a whole new way of seeing everything. So I don't be trying to focus too much. Don't think I don't know what I'm talking about. But anyway, like I was saying, now after the alien came and did their upgrade, next came after that us, who we are now, this generation of people. But who we are inside is a combination of all those beings. And those beings forms now what's called souls. After they expire, you know, something don't really die. Energy can be destroyed, so it just forms a different form. Everything first started in the astral world and came down to the physical world. The physical world only exists because it had too much fear in the astral world, and it came a whole consciousness of fear that popped out like a bubble, and it minded up making its own self a physical world out of fear, calcified. That's where this world is called shell or hell, show. That's where it all come from. It's not a good place. It just means that you're afraid to go to the real world, the astral world. And so you, out of fear, you inverted into yourself in fear and came here. So you're living inside your mind. This is actually your mind you're in. And you could alter it and tweak it. You know, that's deeper. I'm gonna go into all that later on. But really now, who you are now is a part of 7 souls. Those 7 souls is the different aspects of yourself that been here from the beginning. All of them really is locked inside your subconscious. You're only conscious of what you was born on from the beginning of your birth date until now in this world. And I can't say conscious. You could have just, some people still unconscious, but you have people that have just became conscious. So you're only conscious or came alive when you became conscious of your surroundings. You understand what I'm saying? So until you become conscious, you're not real. Your time don't start. You don't really count. Nothing really counts until you're conscious of what's going on. Some people never become conscious. When you become conscious, it's not like you acquire a soul, because everything is buried inside of your heart already. It's there, but you have to unlock it through adversity, stress. You know, those things is what bring about the soul out of a person. It's like putting an animal against the wall, and he has nowhere to go, so he has to go forward and fight, even though he's afraid. So something a spirit comes down on him and takes over, and his regular spirit ejects from his body. So now he have what's called a disassociation, which leads to what's called post-traumatic stress disorder. A lot of people have that nowadays because they all had experiences where their spirit didn't agree with it. So the spirit ejected and another spirit came to defend it. And so they have now altered egos inside them. I mean, altered personality. These altered personality act out in different ways. Simple post-traumatic stress and altered egos example is when you go to work, when you come home. Those are 2 separate characters. So you got a situation of post-traumatic stress disorder right there that you don't even really pay attention to, but it is. Trust me. You know what I'm saying? That's another story. But we ain't gonna get into how the soul feel about all the stuff that it really don't want to entertain. The soul and the consciousness is different, and the spirit is different. They all work for your best benefit. They don't care about your friends, your love, your parents, your kids. They only care what's best for your best interest. And sometimes it might seem cruel because it's going to direct you to what's only for your best interest, but you might get contradicted with your morals and beliefs, and it leads to a whole nother situation. So it's hard for you to grab all three and make them one if you don't have the same philosophy or understand them. That's the whole point of these videos, is to put you in oneness with your whole different bodies, your 7 bodies. Unite them and understand them. So you understand it now that you have multiple yous, but each one is on different planes. So your mind is what works on what's called the astral plane. So your mind will be up here somewhere. Then you have, no, not astral plane, I said that wrong. I'm trying to look at my hand and do it, my bad. Your mind is on the mental plane. So this will be where your mind is at. Now you have what's called your shadow self. This is the original you. This will be your subconscious, where you come from. This will be on the astral plane. From the astral plane, you got you, the physical, in this physical plane. But information comes from the toppest one, which we're going to call the ethereal plane. This is where everybody is one. And we separate as we get into the mental plane, and we go in our own ways, and we become here. Now this is important because you have to ascend up and down that little place that there is. And also, aside from ascending up and down from it, that's where you're literally at. You know, to get that idea, what I'm saying is, when you're in the elevator and the elevator all of a sudden drop down, you drop down. You feel your whole self going inside your stomach, because you do. Your consciousness drop down, who you really are, finally go in your body. And the same thing when it go up or drop. No, when it drop down, you go up, and when it go up, you pull down. But you know what I'm trying to say. But you literally feel yourself go in your body. That's that butterfly feeling you feel inside of you. It's literally you coming in. But you're not inside your body. You hovering over your body. You're there, and it's not even like you're hovering. It's just invisible to your own eye. Because sometimes you're not even there. You're over there someplace, depending on your thoughts. You could be with another person's soul, having fun, fishing, whatever y'all doing, having talks. You know, not physical stuff like fishing and all that, but you know, they usually partake in more love making and stuff like that, but it's running around going on, or even in just overshadowing somebody with thoughts, or even love or healing. All of this is going on, or being in other dimensions or other places of your choices. So with all these different bodies that you have, they all work at one time. It's like an algorithm of flow that makes one person move, which is you. So everything trickles down last to you. You're feeling the results of everything that's taking place above you. You understand? Once you feeling it, it's now like too late. It's like the disease is going to attack the body, like how it says it starts off in your magnetic field and later on it hits the body. Well, that's the case. So you're in the auric field, your aura, your magnetic field, you're in there. And that's why your magnetic field is protected. Nobody could get in there, no entity. And if it does, that's a disease or sickness, because that's the only thing that could get to you. So you're in your magnetic field. Now, you know, a lot of things happen in your magnetic field as far as when you go to sleep, it drops, the protection drops, and entities and other things is in the magnetic field, and they come in your magnetic field. You understand? Look at it like an orange that has a magnetic field around it, but you cut open the orange and all the cells in the orange got magnetic fields around it too. So now every time they come together, it's like one big magnetic field, because as a psychic or a healer, you wouldn't go and heal one cell in the orange. You will heal the big orange magnetic field, and they'll trickle all down into the cells of the magnetic field, and each cell will take what they need to get healed. So it's the same thing when you go to sleep and you start your dream. Those things come down. You have different levels of your field, from the outer layer, and it's mad layers to get down to your physical body. or you could say come out to you. So now, once these things get in the same magnetic field, you have these dreams, and they're able to interact with you, but it's happening in what we call the underworld or the magnetic field. I just wanted you to understand a little something. It's about to get dark right now, and it's not going to be viewable, Anyway, one love, University of Conscious Science. Remember, this image here is 100% real. Your body is always made like this. Half of it is light and half of it is dark. And you see how the yin and yang symbol comes? It's the same shape. That half a shape here, just like on the bottom now, it goes the shape. So everything we see in life, we just don't understand how it works. So we've got both sides of us. We're going to talk about it in the next video, because this one is getting dark, which we're going to get into the subconscious and the shadow body and the shadow mind, because that's who's doing all the elusive stuff. That's the demon in you. That demon in you is going to act like it wants something, but it's not going to get it straight up. It's going to be very elusive. It gets information like the FBI or the feds. It's very sneaky and elusive. So we're going to get to learn the demon side of you, or the shadow side of you, which is your repressive side. Once you learn your repressive side, you will learn why you do certain things and you're not conscious of it, and why your friends sometimes cuss you out, or your loved one be mad at you because something you did but you wasn't conscious of it. You understand? But this is for a reason. This is because you have a shadow side. That's from repressing a lot of things. Anything once you're born, you got a dark side and a light side. The dark side absorbs all your fears. And absorbing all your repressions, fears, and darkness, it grows strong. It gets stronger and stronger. Strong to the point that you unconsciously do things and then you did it. And then the reason why is because it takes over sometime and pulls you so strong in a grip, you fall into it unconsciously. And I'm not saying that it can't happen like a dream walk, because it can. I mean, entertain your thoughts. Sometimes you get jealous, and now you let it take over you, and now you did some shit you regret. Anyway, University of Conscious Science, one love.